Hey y'all, happy Tuesday. So, I am going to give everyone a few minutes to go ahead and come into the room. And once you come into the room, definitely let me know that you are here. Hopefully, everyone is having a good Tuesday so far. It is, let's see, it is election day, so um hopefully people are excited about that. I don't know, maybe y'all are like overwhelmed, or maybe you're like me, just ready to get it over with. I don't know. um hey JB1, hey everybody coming into the room. Happy Tuesday. Let me go ahead and shout out my patrons while I am thinking about this. Thank you so much to my patrons. If you would like to become a member of my Patreon, make sure you go ahead and click the link below. A special thanks to my VIP patrons, Michael Ray, Alexander, and Daniel. Thank y'all so much. Y'all, we finally made it. Well, look, okay, it's November 3rd. We're not completely over the hump, but we're like so close. So close. It's like, when you're a kid and it's like the night before Christmas and you're just so anxious for it to like be the next day and be over with. Hey, AKW Beats. Hey, RLTD Podcast. He said, we will see who will still be talking the talk a month from now. We will see. Y'all, I'm really ready to uh move past this point. Um it's a lot of, it's just very polarizing, right? I mean, we're possibly living in one of the most polarizing times ever. uh People are boarding up their storefronts all over the country. DC, Chicago, New York. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Hey Black Introvert, hey Kendra, hey Akeem. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but people are boarding up. People are stockpiling. I haven't went as far as thinking to stockpile. Have any of y'all stockpile? Let me know in the comments. Do y'all think anything is gonna pop off tomorrow? What are y'all predictions? Who do you think is going to win the 2020 election? Black Introvert said, if Biden wins mandatory lockdowns, I'm so freaking glad you said that. And that was one of my biggest things about the Joe Biden presidency. And I addressed it immediately. That was one of my personal concerns. Like, I'm looking, when I was watching the debate, I'm looking to see what your answers are going to be about this lockdown. And one of the moderator asked Joe Biden, are you going to require lockdowns? And he kind of glazed over that question. And for me, somebody that has constantly been researching, been looking at the actual numbers, have known people with symptoms, have had access to directly talk to people in the working in the ERs, had a chance to talk to people that have recovered, right, and taken some of the methods and things that we've talked about. I'm like, I'm not down with that. I'm not down with a nationwide lockdown for several reasons based on the actual numbers, right? And then also based on the authoritative nature of that I just don't vibe. I just don't rock with. I feel like states should do best. Each state is different, right? So Mississippi is not going to be the same as a New York. South Carolina is not going to be the same as a California, and things like that. And so to take that away from the states, I just do not agree with at all. Bruce said they're boarding only parts of downtown San Antonio. Kendra said, I think Trump is going to win. Black Introvert said, I think it'll be peaceful. Black Introvert said, I can't deal with this ish. Look, I'm hoping it'll be peaceful. I was just talking to a friend about this the other day because we were making a joke and he was like, what are you going to wear to the Civil War? And I'm not going to tell y'all what my answer was. But beyond my answer, I was like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I am the type of person that in my head, I just keep imagining these politicians. Y'all out here in the streets fighting each other, whoop de whoop, hype for a civil war, race war, all this other stuff. And the politicians are sitting somewhere on their gated property, surrounded by their security, with their refrigerator stocked and their feet kicked up. And that thought of that, I just can't get past. I can't get past. Like, I can't. Bruce said it'll be peaceful only if Biden wins, but the massive Trump rallies everywhere despite the pandemic tell me that Trump will win. So that's a thing too. I was looking at all of these huge rallies, y'all. I'm talking like thousands of people, and Trump literally having rallies up until the election time and people coming out in crazy numbers. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, is this what's to come? Is this showing us that, because one thing about the people voting for Trump, right? This is like some real level supporters and motivation. Whereas Joe Biden, I think a lot of his supporters are way more, apathetic, way more, oh, I'm just going to vote lesser of two evils. I got to do it. It's my civic duty, and these type of things. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I also think that we're going to see possibly the biggest number third ticket voting than we've seen before as well. Hey, Gab. But, y'all, I'm just ready for it to be over. Let's take a look at so far let's see if we got updated election results. So looks like from the last time I looked, okay, let's take a look at this. So this is live election results according to Google, okay? You have Joe Biden so far with 85 electoral votes and Donald Trump with 61. All right, so some of these, it's kind of weird. They're saying they're not calling the race, right? Like some of these are projections, even though all the votes aren't even in. They're already saying, oh, Donald Trump won Mississippi, right? Even though 1% reporting, votes still coming in, even though Joe Biden, right, is 53%. But based on previous elections, we tend to lean, oh, okay, Republican, these southern states are going to probably go for Trump, even though the entire votes are still coming in, right? So far, some of these, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Kentucky and it was somebody else, Kentucky, maybe it was Virginia. I think it was 2 or 3 that officially were like, okay, we're calling a vote. But keep in mind, I agree, Black Introvert. Black Introvert said projected isn't a win. It can change. We remember we remember what happened in 2016, right? So that's absolutely the facts. Um but we're going to see what happens. I think also I was looking at different election results. Some of them are, a little bit different depending on where you're looking. Um, but this is what we're seeing right now, y'all. So the crazy part about it is some of your swing votes here in Florida and Georgia are so close. I'm literally talking about in the thousands. Florida, Georgia, particularly, okay? Florida already has 89% reporting, and they are neck and neck. You have 48.2% for Biden and 50.9% for Trump. So we're talking crazy, crazy close numbers. So we'll see, y'all. It's getting heated up. It doesn't matter who wins. Some people are going to cry for the next couple of days. You're going to see a lot of emotions here over the next couple of days, a lot of breakdowns, people talking about, they're going to move out of the country, even though I don't remember any other people talking about they were going to move out of the country in 2016, moving out of the country. But we will see what happens. I think I saw Tessa said, I think it was Tessa that said people are already laying bricks. Derek said, I hope they don't riot here in Long Beach. We still got businesses destroyed over the George Floyd incident. Shaking my head. That's so crazy to me. And even though I've been traveling, I haven't really been seeing in person any of the damage that's been done during any of these riots. But I find it so interesting. And it's really easy, when you don't see it firsthand, to kind of disconnect, right? Or kind of even forget about these things as well. The news will report on it, and then they move on with their life. They move on to the next narrative, and then you still have these local communities dealing with the aftermath. And this is why I always tell y'all, these politicians will hype you up. The media will hype you up. These celebrities and entertainers will hype you up. And at the end of the day, they are we're real people. We have real lives, right? And sometimes we have real stake and invested interest in these things. And not to say they don't as well, uh, you know, but there's may or may not tend to be in the best interest of the everyday people. And that's why it's important to remember these things. When the freaking media moves on with their narrative, you still have real people dealing with these things, right? Even if we're literally sitting here talking about COVID, the politicians, the media, if they don't want to talk about COVID today, they don't even have to. And a lot of y'all are still sitting at home, not working. Right? You still have places that are closed down or have these odd hours and things like this. When the media is done talking about, done making their money off an unarmed Black man died today at the hand of police officers, when they don't feel like making their money off that today, and they're on to the next headline or the next clickbait or the next whatever, you still have families and communities dealing with these things. And just like Bruce said, you have those companies still dealing with that. I'm sorry, Derek said. You still have those companies dealing with that. So these are things to always think about, and that's the same freaking thing when I think about a civil war. You have all these people going into the streets thinking they're protecting their ideology. If that's what you want to do, I mean, whatever, freedom. But I know for a fact that the amount of people that are going to make you clickbait, use you as a headline while they have their private security, while they're living in their gated communities, their high high rises and all these other things, and you're in the street basically fighting on their behalf. I mean, so good luck and more power to you. But these are the results: 8561 electoral votes, and then the actual popular vote is literally like neck and neck. Like neck and neck. A couple thousand difference. So I found this super interesting, right? So I'm sitting here and I'm just looking for information about the presidential election results. And so this was one story, y'all, that I was like, Democrats are keeping a close eye on Latinos in Florida tonight. This is according to CNN Politics. Democrats are keeping a close eye on Latinos in Florida tonight. I don't even like how this worded. I don't particularly. Democrat operatives are keeping a close eye on Latino voters tonight in Florida, one of the first states with a significant Latino population to report results. A key concern for Democrats heading into the election was Joe Biden's ability to court Latinos, a diverse group, a diverse and growing demographic. Now, black people, if you don't vote for Joe Biden, you ain't black. Latinos, diverse, black people, you a notable exception, okay? A diverse and growing demographic in a number of key states, including Florida, Texas, and Arizona. Democratic organizers in these states has raised concerns about Biden's outreach to Latino voters early in the campaign, leading Biden's operation to pour manpower and money into turning out Latinos. The problem is acute in Florida, particularly in populous Miami-Dade County, because of the large number of Cuban and Venezuelan immigrants, two groups that tend to be more conservative than others. Early results out of Miami-Dade, Florida's most populous county, shows a closer race between Biden and Donald Trump in 2020 than when Clinton faced Trump in 2016. Trump's campaign was intensely focused on Miami-Dade County, crafting an entire messaging campaign around painting Biden as a socialist, in an attempt to appeal to the county's Cuban and Venezuelan American populations. This is so freaking interesting to me. This is so interesting to me for a couple of reasons. One being this presumption, right, that because of illegal immigration, you have all of these immigrants who would maybe in favor of their family, their friends, whatever the case, may vote Democrat, right? Because of the benefits, we're going to call it what it is, benefits and favors that Democrats promise illegal immigrants. That may or may not be the case. Okay, you have, according to CNN, talking about how Cuban and Venezuelan immigrants. So when I say Cuban and Venezuelan immigrants, we're talking about people that have went through the process to become citizens, be able to vote, okay, that tend to vote more conservatively. Another reason why I think this is particularly interesting is because I've been telling people for the longest. It's so far in articles, I really haven't seen anybody talking about the black vote tonight. I've seen a lot of people, even when I tuned in to CNN a little bit. Hey Pilu, even when I tuned in to CNN tonight for a few minutes, you had a segment where a Latino woman was talking about how important it was going to be for Joe Biden to win the Latino vote. Haven't really heard much about the black vote so far. The funny thing is that if Joe Biden loses, then yes, you are going to see it's only going to be talking about, or majority talking about, the black vote. You're going to see a lot of vitriol towards particularly black men. And that's just what it is. That's just what's gonna happen. But I've been telling people, warning people, this whole idea of, courting black people, pandering to black people, uh, whatever you want to call it, even trying to reach black voters. I am of the belief that you only have a little bit of a window span for that to continue to happen at the pace we've seen in prior years. Okay. You have a dwindling population for several reasons. Or I don't know if I should say dwindling, more so like stagnant. Okay, and you have a growing Latino population. Okay, Latinos are already, they don't harp on this a lot, but Latinos are already the biggest group of minorities. And then I was literally just reading the other day that I think Asians, if I'm not mistaken, y'all let me know in the chat, but I just saw somewhere that Asians are, I think, becoming maybe like a close second. Let me see if I can find that article that I was looking at. And so I've been trying I've been trying to warn, black people, you better get in while you can. You better get in where you fit in. You better take a look at how immigration is affecting you. It's the truth of the matter. I don't give a crap what some hip hop artist told you, entertainer. I don't give a crap because Jay-Z put J-Lo up there to do the Minority Super Bowl halftime show. Okay, when you talk to actual scholars, there have been scholars and historians that have discussed how uh that whole immigration thing already, how it already impacts the quality of black life, because you have to look at the availability of jobs. You have to look at the number. Even when we look at places in California that had typically been known to be black, and those populations being, can we call it gentrification? Can I use that word here? Or it's not the same because it's another minority group. I don't know all the freaking SJW rules here. But when you have these populations of black people moving out of California, being cut at a very high rate and things like that, and you've had actual scholars talk about the impacts of these things, right? And so naturally, over time, politicians are going to go where they get the bang for their buck. It makes sense. It makes sense. And I don't think it's anything for people to want what's best for them. Nothing wrong with that. So but that's what everybody's talking about tonight and looking at the Latino vote. This is Um, Something that people are going to need to keep in mind: the U.S. needs a Japanese style immigration policy. I have no idea what Japanese immigration policy is, but now I want to research it. So I'm going to do that. Oh, he said, okay, they have a thorough vetting process. I'm absolutely, and I've said this before, I'm absolutely not opposed to m- making the process more seamless, more accommodating, and things like that. I don't think it should take 20 years for somebody uh, to get citizenship. And, I have an uncle that had to go through that process. That's Jamaican. He had to go through that process. Took years. And people may say, this is debatable because they may say, oh, well, the number of people, you know, trying to get in. But I do think that there are some ways that um, we can make the process better for everyone involved. And even something that I still don't understand to this day, there's a system. Y'all let me know. I can't remember the name of it. Somebody let me know in the chat. But there's literally a system, a database that they could make mandatory for employers. So you wouldn't have as many people able to like work under the table. I cannot remember. It's some type of verification system for residents, citizens, and things like that. And I still don't understand why that hasn't been done. It seems like it would be the easiest way to address immigration. So on some fronts, I don't even feel like they actually want to fix it. I feel like a lot of these things are a revolving freaking door. A lot of these issues, we talk about them um, over and over again. Hey, Brother Phillips. Hey, Southeast Dusty. So, but also, I was just bumping around trying to see like what different news outlets are saying about the elections. All of them have their chats and comments disabled. To my understanding, when I don't remember watching the news on YouTube, and all of the chats are disabled. E-Verify, thank you. That's exactly what it is, Shane. Thank you. E-Verify, that's the name of it. Um, E-Verify is the system that I was talking about to basically make sure that before you hire this person, they're a citizen, right? They're a resident. They can actually work here. Why that system? It may be an issue of they may try to dress it up as, oh, the states should worry about this, that, or the other. But it seems like it would be the one, like, bam, do this and let's just get it over with. So now, even if people come here, it's not as um outwardly or immediately appealing, right? Because now you have to jump through more hoops. It's not as easily accessible, uh, you know, as far as working. So, but that's absolutely the name of the system. But I was saying how I'm looking at all these news outlets and all of the comments and chats are disabled, and I'm wondering why. Like, what's the point of it? I'm really tired of the censorship. If y'all don't know, I was recently banned off Twitter. I started a new page. The page is Hey Y'all Videos. I am about to type that in a chat. Y'all make sure y'all go follow me on Twitter, please. y'all videos on Twitter. But I am really, really tired of the censorship. One thing that if Trump is to win this election again, there's something I really, really want to see him go harder on is all the freaking censorship that's happening. So that needs to be addressed, but all of the things that are disappearing, you've had a lot of people banned from Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. It's just been terrible, particularly going into the election and things like that. But Jupiter Black said Instagram is acting funny too. I've gotten so annoyed and discouraged with Instagram. Like, you post stuff and your freaking engagement is so low. They only show a small percentage of your followers. Like anything, you're bombarded with ads and advertisements. Now I scroll down a little bit, and like I only scroll a little bit and it'll be like, oh, you're caught up. All these people I follow, and you show me the same freaking 10 people, you say you're caught up, and then I scroll down and I see nothing but people I don't follow. I don't have any interest in these people. You don't even show me the people I follow. Like, it just makes no sense to me. So I mean, Chico said it's all a setup. La Carver said they're taking our voices away. The echo chamber, man. It's just an echo chamber. And even the way they've pushed like all of the what do they call it? Official news sources is another word that I'm trying to think of. But even pushing all of those up to the top, we know they do this for a reason. We know it's to drown out voices, right? Like you and I and things like this. But all right, let's see if any election results here. Oh, snap. So let me share my screen. So this is according to Google results. You still have Joe Biden in the lead, 119 electoral votes. You have Donald Trump with 92. I'm looking at this map. It's looking about neck and neck. We have the darker red, so they're basically saying it's already been called. Okay, and then the lighter blue and the lighter red is who's leading there, and then the gray, we still have no results. Y'all know it take a little bit longer for the results on the west coast to come in. But once again, literally, y'all, I don't know if this is gonna be similar to if it's going to be similar to 2016, where one person won the popular vote and the other won the electoral college. We'll see, but you still have the popular vote here that is neck and neck. Okay, you have Joe Biden at 48%, Donald Trump at 50.7%. However, as of now, Joe Biden is leading in the electoral vote. So, swing states, neck and neck. Like Florida, you have Joe Biden 47.9%, Trump 51.2%. It looks like not even a 400,000 vote difference. You have Georgia 41.9%, 48.8% for Biden, 57.1%. You have Trump with a little bit larger of a lead there in Georgia. But I think there are still going to be some votes coming in over the next couple of days. I think they're going to kind of call something tonight or give us an idea, but I think there's still going to be votes coming in tomorrow. I know the post office has been off the hinges, okay, trying to get y'all mail-in votes in. But we're going to see what happens. If you're anything like me, you're ready for this to be over with, okay? So we can move on. Also, I definitely want to mention, hopefully people are really taking advantage and taking notice of what is going on their local level, okay? Y'all know that I'm the person that wants the president, the federal level, to move back to the actual what they're supposed to be about, things like national security, trade, things like this. I think we've gotten very far from that model, so hopefully people are taking a look at their local elections. Black Star Company said, who do you think will win? So y'all, I made a bet with a friend. I said I think Trump is gonna win. My friend thinks Joe Biden is gonna win, so we'll see. Right now, it looks like Joe Biden is pulling strong in the Electoral College, and Trump is winning the popular vote. And the funny thing about that, we're going to see what the final result is. But the funny thing about that is, as it stands up now, the freaking Democrats were the ones talking about ending the Electoral College, ending the electoral votes. So, yikes. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Right now, electoral votes 119, Joe Biden up to Donald Trump 92. So JB1 said, ironic as hell. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. So if Joe Biden was to win, and he wins because of the electoral vote, and Republicans were to switch their talking points, well, the only reason I don't think that could happen is because of demographics. I think you have a lot of Republicans that wouldn't support that because of demographics. But I just think that would be ironic if the only thing to pull Joe Biden ahead was an electoral vote. Something to think about. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully, you know what I mean, things will remain peaceful. I don't know, some of y'all may not even be able to sleep tonight. People have been like a lot of energy, excited. So we'll see. But as of right now, those are the results. Those are my predictions. We're going to see what happens. I will be following up with y'all soon. Thank y'all for rocking with me every Tuesday. Thank you to my patrons. Black Star Company said, America is about money. Biden is about socialism. Everything can't be free. Well, he's up in the electoral so far, so. Tessa said, yes, why are the chats disabled? So I talked about that earlier. All of these news stations had their chats disabled. I think because, And it's funny even mentioning that I went and watched a few minutes of the Young Turks, and people are trolling them so hard over there in their comments. It's a little funny. Um, but they're disabling the comments because I don't think that they want to see. I just don't think they want to hear from the people. I think they want to silence it, like, and they want to just push their projections as opposed to having people saying things in the chat. I think that's what's going on there. And every single mainstream media news source, news agency that I looked at is all doing that same thing. But anyway. And one of my main reasons I even like watching things on YouTube live is because I like to see what people are saying. That's one of the main reasons I choose to watch things live. Edward said we may not know who will win until Wednesday at the earliest. Yep, I agree. But Bruce said, wouldn't it be something if Trump wins Wisconsin after the Jacob Blake situation? Would that be backlash from the riots? That's a good point. That's a good point. And I do think you do have some people that are voting as like get back and backlash votes. Absolutely. Absolutely. I've heard people say this. Like I've heard like business owners say this like on camera, not anybody I know personally, but some of those people that were being interviewed and stuff after their businesses were being like looted and trashed or whatever the case may be. But anyway, all right, y'all, let me go ahead and jump out of here so I can enjoy the rest of my night, and hopefully so can you. Again, thank you to my VIP patrons, Michael Ray, Alexander, and Daniel. Thank you to everybody that tuned in tonight. Make sure you give me a thumbs up, and also make sure that you are subscribed. If you would like one of my anti-status or entertainers are not leaders teas, those are also available in my link. And tomorrow we should know more about what's going on. So we'll see which way the wind blows. But all right, y'all. Bye.